What is up, everybody? It is Og here, back with another WoW Classic video, and today we are going to be in Stockades. So massive shout out to Nasse, who actually showed me the strategy. And similar to ZF, there is a padding mechanic in which the mobs will pat back and forth and allow you to blizzard farm Stockades. So huge shout out to Nasse, and you guys heard me right. Obviously, a ton of people have been very curious about other padding situations in which we can AoE farm similar to the ZF strat because it's such good experience per hour and it's a ton of fun to do. And Stockades is actually one of those instances that you can do this. So in theory, you can do this as low as level 22. Now there's going to be some benefits and there's going to be some cons to this, but we're going to jump into the actual pools and explain that as we go. So the first benefit is the fact that you're able to solo farm an instance. And so obviously when you solo farm an instance, you're gonna be able to get some decent experience per hour, potentially, right? The con, however, to go along with that is that we only have about 4 mobs we can kill at once. Unfortunately, we're going to have to take melee. What is this guy? This one guy is just going rogue. We're gonna have to take melee hits in order to group them up. And since we have to take melee hits, we're going to potentially not be able to pull as many mobs. Now, unfortunately, I do not have a level 25 or so I'm very sorry that I don't have that, so I can't experiment with ways to potentially get around taking less melee hits. But you can see here that with 4 mobs that I'm killing at once, 5 mobs actually, they are separated slightly, and I did have to take a couple melee hits. However, you can also see that I'm killing 5 mobs without taking too many melee hits. Not perfectly stacked, but we only took about 5 melee hits, and then we were able to get into our position. So what's the position? Each of these corners in right by the entrance is a pathing spot where they are basically just freaking out and not being able to get to you. And so all you do is you run back and forth and just strafe back and forth from one side to the other, dropping a blizzard every single time. Now, if you want to get really, clutch with it and everything, you can also run forward and drop a Nova. I don't really mess with that, to be honest, too much, because I find that if I drop a Nova, it could run into a situation where I'm getting hit by leeway, kind of like that. And so I want to make sure that I don't mess with that. But here you can see that we get them low enough to the point where they're going to start running away, so we're spamming Arcane Explosion, and then we just finish them off with whatever we need to. You can see that we get down 5 of them pretty darn quickly, in just over about a minute. Now, I was using rank 1 Blizzard to kind of... Oh, there's the guy. Doing rank 1 Blizzard to kind of put it into the same kind of threshold as if we were a lower level. You don't want to be doing this too low of a level just because you will take some damage. These mobs are 23 and 24, and so if you do get dazed, you're pretty much screwed. There's also the concern of mana. So at a low level, mana is going to be a big issue. You can see that I got down to like 40% mana probably. At a lower level, you're going to be dropping a lot of mana. Right, and so you're going to need to think about mana conservation. You're going to need to use Sage Fist Light. I think you can use that at that level. You're going to need to use some food for mana per 5. You're going to need to use mana pots. You're going to need to use anything you possibly can to keep up your mana. The other hard thing is that we aren't killing as many mobs per hour. So let's talk about the experience per hour. So each of these mobs is roughly 250 experience unrested. So rested about 500 experience per kill. And so if we're thinking about rested experience, then we're looking at probably killing about 30 mobs per hour, I would say. No, more than that. Killing 30 groups per hour. 30 groups per hour. And so let's say we kill about 75 to 100 mobs per hour. Then we could potentially be getting about 40 to 50,000 experience per hour, which is leveling at about 1 hour per level, which is around the same as open world farming, but obviously you are in an instance, so you don't need to worry about competition in the open world, and you're getting better drops, obviously, because you are in an instance and have the potential at some blues and some higher greens and things like that. So decent XP per hour. As far as the gold that you can make, I kind of want to try this other strat, actually. I kind of want to try the Kona Cold strat and see if that works better. As far as the gold that you can make, you're not going to make a ton, right? This is going to be more so for a kind of fun little leveling strategy where you can switch things up And so you're not going to be focusing on making a ton of gold. ZF, obviously, we can make 50 gold per hour. I would probably say you can make about 10 to 15 gold per hour, which at a lower level, honestly, isn't that bad, right? If we're still trying to work our way towards a mount, it's definitely not bad at all. But it is going to take a little bit of practice. I'd recommend starting off with just a couple mobs and then working your way up to more mobs as you go. Let's try the Cone of Cold strategy, though, because Blizzard's great, but I'm wondering if Cone of Cold starting at level 26 might be a better strategy. Reason being is that if we're just focusing on their pathing, we'll be able to get off the Cone of Colds every single time and get them into a perfect position. So let's run back up to here, and we want to stop right at the front of this one, run over to the right, get that Nova. You can see that we're going to take less damage, and then we're just going to Cone of Cold and run back. We wait for them to come towards us. They're taking all kinds of weird pathings. And then we go for the Cone of Cold again. Now, the reason why I'm thinking that this strategy might be nice is that you may be able to conserve a bit more mana. Ooh. And you can just dance right back and forth like this. So you can see if we stand in the corner, they're going to come out. If we stand right to the right, they're going to come directly towards us. And so you can literally just dance right back. Oh, okay, this is actually pretty nice right here, guys. Now, there is the chance for the resist, so eventually you may have to drop a Nova. But look at this. You can do this all day long. Make sure you don't get too overzealous and take a couple melee hits. And you want to make sure you do it quickly, because if you don't, it looks like they're going to kind of stack up like that, and you're going to have to go for a Nova. And this guy is bugged out, and he's up against the wall. But that's a potential solution right there as well, is that we can mess with Cone of Cold kiting. Same kind of thing is probably going to happen on this other side, where if we run to the middle, yep, they changed their padding. So as long as you basically Nova them when you're starting the pool out here, you can go ahead and use a Cone of Cold strategy. It's going to be about the same speed for a kill, maybe a little bit slower, but you'll be able to keep them grouped up like this, and then you can just duck out and in and out and in over and over, and that will be able to get the kills for you. So that's another strategy as well. So we're going to have the Blizzard strategy, if you're more comfortable with using the Blizzard and running back and forth strafing to each corner. And then we're also going to have the Cone of Cold strategy, in which you can get them towards the middle, and then you're going to dance between right here and right here, and that's going to cause them to take that padding technique. Don't get too crazy going back and forth constantly, though, because eventually they will separate if you do that. So pretty consistent movements going back and forth. But those are going to be two strategies which you can kill mobs with. If you do the Cone of Cold strategy, it may be a little bit more mana conservative, just because you'll be able to kind of regen a bit more mana as you go, because you're not casting an ability at all times. And so you may be able to last a little bit longer with the Cone of Colds. That being said, it should take about the same amount of time to kill as the Blizzard strategy, so that's an option as well. But hopefully this is a fun little ad hoc farm for you guys. And shout out to Nasse. Thank you so much for showing me this farm. I think it could be pretty fun. I think it has some potential. I wish I did have a level 25 or so to try it out, and I wouldn't recommend starting until you are at least 25. And if you're going to do Cone of Cold, obviously 26 to be able to do Cone of Cold. Nasse tried it at 28 though and was able to pull it off, so I know it is possible. Should be a lot of fun. So let me know your guys' experience with the farm leveling up. Let me know what you guys think, and if you guys have any other ideas for ways to improve the farm as you go along. But it looks like it could be pretty fun to do and mess around with. So hopefully this helps you guys out. All right, everyone, that wraps up today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please subscribe and leave a like and a comment below to let me know so. And if you guys have any other ideas for any other videos, please let me know in the comments below. Also, check out the description for the Twitch, where I do all this live, and also for my Twitter and Discord, where you guys can be notified of any future updates and when I'm going to go live on stream. So I'll see you guys in the next video.